All right, guys, today we're gonna go into a mobility drill called the quadruped T-spine rotation. And basically it is for the T-spine, which is your upper spine. So the spine of your upper back, so basically from here to here, is a segment, a group of joints in your spine that we actually want to be more mobile. So we want it to be able to go backwards and frontwards, but also to rotate side by side. So if you're gonna be like moving around, we want this upper back to be able to rotate properly. So this is a drill to kind of teach you how. So what we're gonna do is we'll get knees wide, and part of that's just because we're gonna get some hip mobility and hip flexibility out of this as well. I'm gonna drop my hips back, which you'll see when Jason moves over to the side, but I'm gonna drop my hips back, and the reason why we do that is because having our hips back is gonna lock our lower back in place, because we don't want the lower back moving around while we learn to do this. We just want the upper back. So I'm gonna put one hand on the ground, right here. I'm gonna have one hand on my head, and I'm gonna follow my elbow with my eyes. So I'm gonna come down here, eyes on my elbow, eyes on my elbow. It's not about going as far as you can, because I don't want this elbow driving back as far as I can, because the idea isn't that, even though this drill is gonna help your shoulder mobility, it's gonna help you get more out of your shoulder mobility, but we don't wanna be actively kind of going like, what we actually just wanna do is we're leading with the upper back. And then I kind of feel a little bit of a stretch or a little bit of a strain there when I get to the end. It can also help when you get to the end of this to actually take a few breaths so that you can actually own the position, because if you can't breathe in a position, it's not gonna be a position where you're gonna feel comfortable. So when I get to the top here, rotate, 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 that's around where I end, and I'll kind of just go. And again, you can see my hips back being in a position where my low back is kind of locked up, whereas if I came right here, I could kind of almost rotate through the whole thing. We don't actually want that. Now, it's not actually bad for your lower back to rotate, but we do want the upper back, the upper portion of your spine, to be more mobile, your rib cage, rather than for you to, every time you have to rotate, to go through your lower back. Your lower back, your lower spine is meant to be a more stable segment. Upper spine should be more mobile, and your rib cage should be more mobile, and your hip should be more mobile. So we've got mobile joints in between more stable joints. So that's a quadruped T-spine mobility drill, T-spine rotation. You can put it in your warm-ups. I do like 8 per side, or you can put it in between certain strength exercises just for filler, just so you have something to do while you're resting between sets.